All you football fans already know that a quarterback makes or breaks his team, and in line with that, the LA Chargers should consider themselves pretty lucky they've got Justin Herbert as a QB. He's one dedicated man, and it's no surprise he'll do anything to perfect his technique. Herbert's teammates have just revealed how impressive his work ethic is, and today's video dives right into it. Let's get going then. Well, is it really news that Justin Herbert's a big perfectionist? We just found out that this 24-year-old quarterback is a perfectionist at heart, and when it comes to football, he'll work as hard as he can to get every single one of his throws straight. When practice sessions end, you'll find good old Herbert still on the field throwing more passes so he can make them as perfect as possible. As soon as practice ends, all his teammates leave the field to get some much-needed rest. But Herbert, he stays put. He's got a routine and he's not changing it no matter what. The quarterback believes that if some of his throws in the practice sessions don't feel right, he has to put in some extra work to get them right. And he doesn't care how many throws it takes. The 24-year-old keeps going until he himself is certain they're perfect. Football practice drills usually focus more on the placement of the ball and how a player should step forward in the pocket and what's the best way to deliver a strike so you get that beautifully accurate shot. They hardly ever focus on how tight the ball is spiraling and have that perfect throw. You kinda have to get that perfect spiral. So it's no real surprise if Herbert personally feels like he could spend a little more time smoothing over his mistakes from these practice sessions. Once they end, he goes on the field all alone and does all he can to better his throws. But wait a minute, why is the quarterback so committed to these after practice sessions? One could say Herbert's extremely committed to his after practice sessions. A little too committed. When you compare him with other footballers, when the quarterback was questioned about his extreme commitment to this rigorous routine, he described how during practice he has to stay extremely focused. Practice sessions are all about staying calm and collected and never letting your last play affect the next one. But after practice, there are no rules. It's just him and the ball and all the time he needs to perfect his throwing skills. Now, with no one else around, he can work on perfecting his shots until he's satisfied. And it looks like Herbert's not going to change this routine anytime soon. He's been at it for years, so it's more of a habitual thing for him. Well, it's helping him get better. He's putting his all into it, and it's helping him rise to the top. Isn't that something? On being asked why the 24-year-old's so dedicated to these after practice sessions, he said it's because that's just part of being a quarterback for your team. Whatever he does for his team. He doesn't want to let any of them down in his practice sessions, so he commits himself to intense training to be the best for them. And here is what Keenan Allen has to say about Herbert's incredible work ethic. Keenan Allen, the Chargers wide receiver, has been playing for the team since 2013, and he's got some really great things to say about Herbert's work ethic. He's seen him on the field after their intense practice sessions, and if he had one word to describe what he saw, the word would be crazy. And he meant that in a really good way, folks. According to Keenan, the quarterback spends over an hour and a half after practice trying to get those shots right. Damn, that's truly some crazy dedication. There's no doubting that. There's a reason Keenan was this surprised about Herbert staying on the field after sessions. And it's all got to do with the Chargers' former quarterback, Philip Rivers. When the wide receiver was asked if Rivers ever stayed late to practice, Keenan laughed and said, "Never." We're guessing the LA Chargers are surprised they've got someone so determined on their team. Fans of the Chargers, we think you guys should be happy with this piece of news. The team's got quite an ensemble of players, and that only means some tough competition for the rest of the teams. Up next, between Philip Rivers and Justin Herbert, who's the better quarterback? Of course, you can see all the hard work shine through Justin's performance. Let's draw a comparison between the two LA Chargers to get an idea. Philip Rivers was with the Chargers from 2004 up until 2019 when Herbert replaced him as quarterback. Back in 2006, when Rivers made his debut as a full-time starter for the Chargers, his play was quite impressive. He made a record of 22 touchdowns that year. Still, we're guessing that wasn't quite enough because the same year, the Chargers faced a big defeat against the New England Patriots in the divisional round. The next year, they lost another game to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game. Even though Rivers reached the Pro Bowl a total of 8 times, it still felt like the team was missing something. Fans of the team thought Rivers didn't really perform well in red zone and clutch situations. But then Herbert joined the team in 2020, and the next year we saw him put up 38 touchdowns. That's 16 more than what Rivers got. The 24-year-old's proven how incredible he is in clutch situations, and his throws have been pretty great so far. While Herbert was still a rookie in 2020, he was able to lead 3 game-winning drives in 2021. He managed to have 5. That's more than what Rivers had in 1 year. We don't have to say it because it's pretty obvious who's the lucky charm for the LA Chargers here. Moving on, Herbert finds his place among top 100 NFL players of 2022. With Herbert's dedication to the game, it's not surprising he was ranked 40th on the NFL's top 100 players of 2022. He deserves that spot, and with time, we hope he only climbs higher. The Chargers quarterback only keeps getting better and better. Herbert was placed second in most completions and passing yards by any quarterback in 2021, and if we're looking at numbers, Herbert's had a pretty great career for a rookie quarterback. The 24-year-old's record for passing yards is 9,350, and he's made a total of 69 passing touchdowns. What's more, he played 17 games with 300-plus yards in his first 2 seasons. All of this is nothing short of impressive. And now, in other NFL news, first up, 49ers George Odom fined by NFL for a uniform violation. Well, looks like 49ers safety George Odom's facing a fine of $5,305 over a uniform violation. You must be wondering what exactly this uniform violation is. Well, it turns out that the NFL claims Odom's knee was exposed during a preseason game against the Vikings. But Odom here firmly disagrees. He even went and shared a picture of himself from the game where you can see that his pants are covering his knees and socks are pulled up too. There's no exposed knee in sight in that photo. Even though Odom provided evidence to dispute these claims, the NFL is still going to fine him. It's possible that perhaps at some point during the game his knee was exposed, and it could also be that they've mistaken him for some other player. Let's hope this gets resolved, because it would be pretty unfair to fine Odom $5,000 over a uniform violation that he didn't even commit. Next, NFL to hand out Aaron Donald a punishment. The Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals were having some joint practice sessions this week, and during one of these sessions, things turned pretty bad with an apparent scuffle between players of the two teams. Aaron Donald, star defense for the Rams, was recorded swinging a pair of helmets at the Bengals in this scuffle, and now we've got football fans suggesting that Donald should receive a suspension similar to what Myles Garrett got back in 2019 when he was involved in a similar brawl against the Pittsburgh Steelers. But Josina Anderson, an NFL insider, reported that nothing of the sort's going to happen. At most, Donald's going to receive a fine, and what's more, the league doesn't get involved in stuff like this. The clubs themselves take care of these incidents. And finally, Jimmy Ward to land on injured reserve this NFL season. Unfortunately, the San Francisco 49ers will have to go on this season without their safety Jimmy Ward. On August 14th, Ward experienced a serious injury to his hamstrings, because of which it seems like the Niners will have to do without him for the first month of this season. John Lynch, the manager for the Niners, admitted that Ward will have to land on the injured reserve list this season. The list consists of footballers who have been temporarily injured and are unable to play due to their injury. With Ward out, the Niners are going to go with their veteran safety, Tashawn Gibson. That's a wrap for this video. Want to hear more NFL news? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.